and welcome to today's weekly live show. We should be live any minute. I will just nip over into the Facebook group and check that this is all working okay. But we are talking philosophy today, a little bit of yoga philosophy to inspire you both in your teaching, to inspire you in your yoga personal practice, but also a little bit of inspiration for your business and how you are approaching your business as well. So I think we'll get started. If you're here live, let me know. It's always great to know that we've got some company. Excuse the low light in here today. Tech is not my friend today. Don't know if anybody else has been having tech issues. So welcome to today's weekly live show. This is a Philosophy Friday one. We're looking at the philosophy of the Aśoka Chakra. We're also looking at the Dharmachakra, and we're looking at Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra from the lens of your personal practice, your teaching, and how this can influence your business as well. If you are new here, my name is Laura Green. I am delighted you're here. The Yoga Teacher Collaborative is one beautiful big family to support yoga teachers to thrive and to support you to thrive in your personal practice, in your teaching practice, and also in your business. We do these live trainings nearly every Friday, and depending on, my diary commitments, but I'm very happy to be with you here today. So today's topic on philosophy is really something I've been exploring in class the last 2 weeks. And as I've been exploring this in class the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking about how relevant it would be for us as well, and especially in response to a few of the different things I've been seeing you post recently. So in my classes the last few weeks, we have been looking at Swa. Swa being S-W-A. Swa as in self, as in the same use of the word swa or the root swa, that is in Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra, that is in Svadhyaya, that is in Swadharma. So Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra, the sacral chakra. Often that gets translated as sort of, the water element, the place of sensuality, but really we're missing a lot when we focus on that element of the chakra, because Swa actually means self. And Dhisthana means the dwelling place, the seat of, the home. So Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra, the sacral chakra, is actually the home of the self. And when we're talking about the self here, we're talking about two different parts of the self. Self with the big S and self with the small s. So the big S self is the universal, unchanging, pure energy of the cosmos. And it is this calm, ever-present energy within us. And it isn't affected by the dramas of life. Just as I said that, my cat comes downstairs with a spring in her mouth. Hopefully she's not going to make too much noise. But Swa, the universal energy within, this calm, ever-unchanging presence within, that isn't at the mercy of the dramas of life, that isn't at the fluctuations of the mind. And sometimes we lose contact with that calm self within, but by connecting to Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra, the sacral chakra, as we'll do practically in a moment, you can find within you again this calm, wise, universal energy. And then there's also the small s self, which is our unique self, and this is our unique essence. Now, every being has their own unique essence, their own unique light, to the degree that it means when you are not in a room, that spectrum of light, that essence is missing. And a lot of the teachings of Swadharma is to understand what our unique light, our unique essence is, and how we bring that to the world. So when we're looking at Swa as in that unique essence, we still find that within. So when we spend more time slowing down, connecting with Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra, we find the universal calmness within, and we can start to reconnect with our unique light, our unique essence. And that is really important for you as a teacher and in your business, that you are letting your essence lead the way. And this really is the teaching of Swadharma. So often we think about Dharma as in our purpose. And we often translate purpose into what we do. We say to children all the time, what do you want to do when you grow up? And then we kind of expect them to list off a job title. They want to be a policeman, they want to be a yoga teacher, they want to be a doctor. And then once we grow up, we say to people all the time, what do you do? And invariably someone answers you back with their job role. But that really isn't the teaching of Swadharma. That is what you do. But Swadharma is the essence with which you do it. So when Swadharma comes together, it's our essence, and our Dharma is the expression of our essence. And this is so key for you as a yoga teacher, for standing out as a teacher and standing out as a marketer, that you are expressing your essence. You're not trying to be someone else. You're not trying to fit in. You're not trying to be the epitome of the ideal yoga teacher. You're letting your essence, your vulnerability, your flavor come through, your realness come through. And then it's your essence that magnetizes your students towards you. They feel that connection with you. They feel that truth with you. And that's how you stand out as a teacher and in your marketing. So how do we understand what our essence, our swa, is? I find one of the easiest ways to think about this is to actually think about pets. I've got all three of mine sat down causing trouble right next to me. So when you think of pets, their essence is a little less conflicted because they haven't got all the stuff of the human life we have. Their essence seems a little purer. So I have 3 cats. Lily, by example, her essence is pure love. She just wants to make you feel loved. And if Lily had to go and get a job, which she doesn't, she's a cat, that would be silly. But if she did, if she was a yoga teacher, if she was a school teacher, if she worked in a call center, if she was raising a family, her Swadharma would be to execute that role with her essence. So she would make you feel so loved and valued when you rung up that call center. As a teacher, she would make you feel seen, loved, and appreciated. So whatever she did, she would execute it with her essence of love. Now, the grey beast that I have, Electra, she looks down on you. And she puts you firmly in your place and makes you want to do better. So again, if she had a job, if she was a yoga teacher, a school teacher, a call center worker, raising a family, she would do it with that same essence of making you try harder, do better, and bring the best of you forwards. Then my ginger goofball pumpkin, she just brings fun. So again, whatever job role she was doing, she would make it fun and playful. Now, if all of them were yoga teachers and they were all marketing their yoga classes, you'd want to feel that essence coming through differently in their marketing. Electra's marketing would be very educational. It would be inspiring you to learn more, to explore more, to have some discipline. She'd make you sit for your meditation. Pumpkin's marketing would be fun. It would make you laugh. She would use memes. She'd make you giggle. She'd make yoga feel not serious and accessible for all. And Lily's marketing would just ooze love. She'd make you feel seen and loved. And then their marketing would, because they're making their marketing message with their essence, then when their students came to meet them at class, they would feel that same essence that they felt in the marketing. And this is really important. So when it comes to like straight copying things off Canva templates or copying wording from another yoga teacher or using stock photography instead of your own photography, your essence isn't there. And so then when people come to see you at class, especially if you've been using stock photography, you don't even look the same as the person they saw on the internet. So you really want to make sure that your essence is flowing through the words on your website, the imagery in your marketing, and then the experience in class. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but how do I know what my essence is? And it can be really hard to stay in contact with our essence. And this is why we're going to do a meditation in a moment. But first of all, I just wanted to show you this. Let me check that you can see that. Yeah, okay. So as I'm sure you know, I am holding the Indian flag right here. But what you might not have noticed is this symbol in the middle here. This is the Aśoka Chakra. And it is a symbol that's also representing the Dharmachakra. Now I'm just going to flip this over. You can see it's a bit bent, I've had in class this week, to show you a bigger version of it here. So the Aśoka Chakra is a beautiful symbol. Now, as a chakra, it is a wheel. And as you see in the wheel, you've got the center of the wheel here, which represents your essence. Then you have 24 spokes of the wheel. And this has a little more symbolism than we have time to go into, but the 24 spokes of the wheel, one of the symbolisms is they represent the 24 hours in a day. And they also represent 24 different virtues that we can attempt to live by. And then you have the outside of the wheel. And it says, when we're born, we are more connected to the center of the wheel, to the essence. Just like my cats are more connected to their essence. When we're born, we are in that simpler time and we are more connected to our essence. But also the 24 spokes, the 24 hours of a day, they go slower when you're a newborn. They go slower when you're a pet. You know, if you think a newborn, in 24 hours, as the wheel spins, that feels so long that they have to feed 25 times and take 10 naps. 24 hours for a newborn is a long time. But then, as we get older, the wheel starts to spin faster and faster. As we get busier and busier, the 24 hours go around so quickly, so it now feels that like a year goes round in the blink of a day. And as the wheel starts to spin further, we almost spiral out. So we're less connected to our center. We start to spiral out and spiral out and spiral out until we're just barely hanging on at the outside of the wheel, being flung around by life. So rather than at the center of the wheel controlling it, we're hanging on, flinging around, barely able to connect back to the center. And as we do this, I love that, Claire, still have to feed 24 times. As we do this, as we kind of fling around, we're no longer controlling that and we're less connected to our essence. It feels harder. And then you see this in your life. Maybe you're a yoga teacher, maybe you've got another job, maybe you're raising a family, maybe you're juggling lots of responsibilities, and that wheel's spinning so fast that you don't feel you have the opportunity to connect with your essence and then to bring that essence into your marketing, into your teaching, into the interactions with your students. So our essence, is getting diluted because the wheel is spinning so fast. But we can slow the wheel down. Now, before we go into a practical, I wanted just to share a snippet of astrology. Many of you know I'm doing my advanced astrology training at the moment and will be a fully qualified astrologer by the end of January, and we'll be exploring how that interplays with your essence, your dharma, your purpose as a teacher. But now, astrologically speaking, the cosmic weather is spinning all of our wheels really fast. So if now feels a little bit busier than normal, you feel like you're multitasking a lot at the moment, you're struggling to focus on one thing, you feel like you've got 25 tabs open literally on your computer and symbolically in your brain, that is the cosmic weather right now. We have the sun, which, as you know, is the bringer of activity, conjunct with Mars. And they went conjunct on the 18th of November, and they're still really, really close right now. And they are going to be for a good 2-3 week period. And with Mars conjunct the sun, Mars is an energy, an activator. It is the foot hard down on the pedal of the accelerator. So things are feeling really busy. And then on top of that, Monday is a full moon. You might have already seen the full moon building. And the full moon enhances whatever we are feeling. So that sun Mars conjunction, that busyness is going to be enhanced by the full moon that's building right now. And then on top of that, the full moon is going to be in Gemini. Now, Gemini is the sign of the mind and the thinker. When Gemini is positively used, it's a good multitasker, good ideas, good intellect. But it can get too busy, think about too many things all at once and get a little bit scattered. So if you're feeling that right now, it's so okay. The wheel is spinning fast. And I really just wanted to tie that's what you might be feeling right now with that theory of the Ashoka Chakra. And then let's just slow the wheel for a second, because there's no point understanding this theory if you can't then do anything with it. And connecting with Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra is a really easy way to stay anchored to the calm self within. When you're anchored to the calm self within, you can then notice the unique essence of your small s self. And it is as easy as bring one hand, and don't just watch me, that's weird, do it with me. Bring one hand down to that low belly pelvis, or actually even let's go for two. And allow the eyes to close. And adjust your posture if you need to, so you can feel more steadied. And bringing the awareness to the breath. Notice your breath as it simply flows in and out of your nostrils. And as if your breath is taking you by the hand and leading you down a path. Let that breath lead you down into the pelvis. And can you feel the ripples of your breath in your pelvis? Your pelvic diaphragm actually rises and falls in rhythm with your respiratory diaphragm. So as you breathe, there's a real movement happening down in Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra. Sensing that movement as you invite the breath really low. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your jaw. And simply anchoring into this seat. Anchoring into Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra. And it can be this easy to slow the breath and to take a moment to connect with self. And then flickering the eyes open, but see if you can stay connected with Svādhiṣṭhāna. See if you can still breathe deep down into the pelvis and continue to breathe there as we take the next step of this journey. So sitting on top of Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra is Anahata Chakra, the place of love and kindness, yes, but also for me, Anahata Chakra, the heart center, is where we do our dharma from. It is where our essence that sits below in Svādhiṣṭhāna gets to express itself in our dharma. And as most of you know, this is the very essence of the business methodology I teach, serve. And that energy of service comes from Anahata Chakra. And when we serve first, we thrive second. Income will always follow in abundance when you are serving. So that energy of our essence of Svādhiṣṭhāna rises up through Anahata, the place we do our dharma, our service from. And then what sits above Anahata Chakra is Vishuddha Chakra, our throat. And often it's actually our words, the words themselves and the tone, that first express our essence out into the world. Obviously our actions, our gaze, our eyes, our facial expressions too, but really a lot is our voice and our words, especially when you're instructing a yoga class. Your voice is the main medium with which you instruct. So when you see these chakras that they sit on top of each other, so Swa, the essence of myself, that energy coming up through Anahata, being of service as I do my dharma, and then letting that be expressed in my speech. So we're going to go back into that meditation, but now having one hand on the low belly and one hand up on the heart. Allowing the eyes to close. And seeing your breath is the energy, the essence you draw in, and the energy, the essence you give out. And like the in-breath is the big S self, the calm, universal energy. And the exhale carries out the small S self, the essence, the light that is you. So breathing in and down that calm essence, down into Svādhiṣṭhāna. Then as you exhale, let your essence rise up to your heart, your service, your dharma, through your throat, and express out in your exhale. Then turn that exhale into a sigh out. So inhaling in and down. Exhale, let your essence come up from your Svādhiṣṭhāna through your heart and out through your mouth. Just taking this 3 more times. Beautiful. And flickering your eyes open. So that simple meditation of draw that calm energy in and down to the anchor of Svādhiṣṭhāna, the self. And then as you exhale, letting your essence rise through your place of dharma, your service, and up and out through your voice into the world. Now, how do you put that into use? It can be as short as 3 of those breaths. Take 3 of those breaths in your car, on your walk, before you get to class. So that then when you greet the students, you feel anchored in the universal energy of Swa, the calm self within. You feel connected to your individual Swa, your essence. You feel connected to the service, the love in your heart. And that is what you're expressing when you meet your students and teach. But also before you post something on social media, before you prepare a marketing graphic, before you write a newsletter, before you sit down to message your students, before you put a flyer through a house door, before you put a poster up in the poster, see if you can connect so that every action you're taking in your business, in your teaching, better yet in your life, has the calmness, has your essence, is connected to service, dharma, and is an expression of your essence. And trust me, this changes everything. I know it sounds woo-woo to say the energy with which you put a flyer through someone's door changes what happens when they pick that up? I believe it does. We really connect with that. And then to go back into the Bhagavad-Gītā, which talks extensively about dharma, it says, follow your dharma. To live your dharma is to live. To live someone else's dharma is death, is what it says in the Bhagavad-Gītā. To not try and do something as someone else's essence, but own it and do it your way. So I hope you found some inspiration in this, be it for your teaching practice, be it for your personal practice, be it for how you're showing up in your business. If you wanted to look it up again, there's a lot more symbolism in Aśoka Chakra, a lot more symbolism in this, the Dharmachakra. And I hope this sort of idea of how we've been exploring the chakras resonates with you, because when we look back in the tantric teachings of the chakras, they're very, very different to the modern teachings. You know, even the ideas, the chakras representing the colors of a rainbow, that's not really there in the tantric teachings. And that's not to erode anything from the modern teachings, but there is so much more depth. And I have found much more breakthroughs connecting with Svādhiṣṭhāna Chakra as the seat of the self than I did as some of the more modern teachings on it. So I am doing a course next year. It's not up for sale yet. There's some information on my website, and it's going to be deep diving into the philosophy of Tantra around the chakras. So stay tuned for that. It'll happen sometime in the new year. Otherwise, lovelies, take care this weekend. The Gemini full moon is sociable, lively, fun in its highest expression, but it's a very mind-heavy time. So calm the mind, talk, air things, get ideas. But yeah, just keep that mind a little still when you can. Thank you for joining me.